Good afternoon, everybody. I hope you're doing well. Hope you're having a good week. Thank you for your patience. I know you've been waiting for my weekly update, usually on a Sunday, but I just wanted to wait until the government have released their details yesterday evening, and that just gave us a bit of time to digest what had been said. And start to put things in place and make sure we get the right advice and so on like that. So I'm going to go into more about the phased return later on, but it is positive. It is positive news, and it's very easy, isn't it? It's very easy to think, I wish we could have come back in March or a little bit sooner and so on. That doesn't achieve anything. By focusing on that one element, it doesn't achieve anything. We can't change it, whether we agree or disagree. We have to go with it and support it and do our very best, and especially to look after those that are perhaps a little bit more vulnerable, those that are struggling a little bit as well. So we have to take the positive from it, which I think is positive. It is a date, it is a way out. It is a roadmap, and we can start to visualize now a return to classes, particularly for our younger ones and anyone really that's been struggling with this whole situation and online training as well. I appreciate it hasn't been easy, but I'll go into more detail with that, but it is positive and we are really, really excited about that. So just a quick review of last week. Last week, obviously, school half term, and we were expecting classes to be a little bit quieter, and they were. But still, those that attended, great energy, great focus. We were working on various things, still a little bit of speed. Some of us, we were having some fun with some smelly socks. We were having other exercise challenges and so on. But now we're also starting to talk and ramp things up towards the grading. Again, I'll just talk about that in a little while. But really well done to those. As I always say to the juniors in particular, if you want to be good at something, you've got to be committed. You've got to be consistent with what you're doing. And that's part of that black belt success cycle that we spoke to the juniors about last month. Being consistent with what you do. There's no point in training 1 week and nothing for 3 weeks, or studying hard for 1 day and then doing nothing for 6 days. We have to be consistent if we want to achieve our goals. So well done to everybody that managed to get online. If you didn't, I hope you had a good rest. Sometimes a rest is good, a change of pace, a change of routine, particularly in these current climates as well. But I look forward to seeing everybody back on with full force this week, and we'll be working hard towards gradings and other events as well. Those of you who have been following and in particular taking part in the February 100k challenge, we smashed it. I knew we would. And when we look back to the first day, and I'm mentioning it's particularly to the kids, the jaws dropped to the floor, 100,000 kicks. But we smashed it. We got there on Wednesday, and we are well through it as well. So I wonder, can we make 150,000 kicks? I wonder. It's about, on average, from what we need now, it's just over 4,000 a day. And that sounds a lot, but actually, some of you have been sending in 500 a day, 1,000 a day, some of them more than that as well. And it all contributes. So let's finish strong. Yes, 100k has been done and dusted, and we can all be really, really proud of that. You should be really, really proud of that. Just something a little bit different, a little bit more fun. But let's see if we can make 150. Part of that black belt success cycle we spoke with the juniors last month is the last part. Review your progress. So how did we do? We smashed it. And then renew your goals. So we set 150. In that way, we're never standing still. We're always moving forward, always trying to improve and get better. So well done to everybody for that. So talking about the grading, we set a grading date of the 28th of March. We set that at the beginning of the year, and I feel it's important that we stick to that as much as we possibly can. And I did say it would be in whatever format suits, whether it be face-to-face, whether it be online. Now, with the government details on when we can return, the grading on the 28th of March will go ahead, but it will just be for colour belts. So that's for students who are white belts all the way up to and including blue belts. And the grading will be online, same as we've done previously. They have been hugely successful. The standard has been absolutely brilliant, really, really proud. And if we think since March last year, on and off a little bit, the majority of this training has been online. So in some ways, it only warrants an online grading. So we look forward to that. It's about 4.5 weeks' time. We will be in touch with students as we have done before if we think they are ready. How will we know they're ready? Well, firstly, they know their moves. their techniques and their drills, and they're really competent with them as well. They have a great attitude and a great energy when they're coming to class. And lastly, perhaps more importantly for the little ones, that they are actually coping well with Zoom. So that means that if they are able to stay in the class focused for the period of time rather than 5 minutes on and then not concentrating. Okay, so parents, please do be aware of that. But I'm really pleased with the progress of everybody. And like I always say, some students are ready, some are not. Just because the date's in the diary doesn't mean to say that a student will be ready. Sometimes it takes a little bit longer, but we will let you know. Okay, if you haven't heard from us, that is because at this point, perhaps your child or yourself are not quite ready. Okay, but if you want us to give you updates and what to work on, then please do get in touch. But if I think that a student is ready, I will send the parents or legal guardians a text message inviting them, and it will have all the details, same as before. All the information will be put online once it's up there. You book and pay online and it's all there, same as we've done before. Okay, but as I say, more details of that will follow over the next week or so once we really start ramping things up in class. So please do not panic now. Okay, there's no need to, please don't send messages now asking if your little one is grading, because we are just starting to look very, very closely at that and making lists and organising things. For the panel, we originally had a panel grading for that. So that's for students who are red stripe and above. And again, the students must have been training regularly, particularly at that level, training hard, really focusing in classes online. And it's very, very likely they would have spent a fair amount of time since their last grading, because there is a lot to learn physically and mentally as well to get through. So again, if we think we're ready or think you're ready, we will let you know via text message. However, that date will be rescheduled, so that won't be on the 28th of March. That has been put back so that we can have a face-to-face panel, and also that we can have some of our higher grades and black belts grade in there as well, as previously we weren't doing that. It was just for red stripes and red belts. So that will be on Sunday, the 2nd of May. Again, details of that will be online as and when we can get them up there, but that will be the panel grading in Kent. Okay, the Sunday the 2nd of May for students who are red stripe and above, and that will be face-to-face only. So that's very exciting, gives us something to work towards, gives us something to aim at and practice. And as I say, if you want to be considered, then you need to practice, and you practice and you practice and you practice. Okay, there's no, you can't expect to be making great strides forwards if you just come to class for half an hour, 45 minutes, an hour, and then think of nothing else within martial arts for the next week. You need to be committed with that. If you want a bit of extra training, then there is the online videos that you can purchase. Just let me know and I'll send you the link for those. Really, really useful tool, and it shows you all the drills and skills for all the levels. So then that brings us to the roadmap, that phrase we've been all eagerly looking forward to from Boris and the government yesterday. As I said, we would have wanted an earlier return date, but it has been phased over a period of time. And the priority across the board, whatever is happening, is to make sure that everyone is safe. And there is always going to be that caveat, isn't there, whether it's from us or from the government, that it must rely on the information coming out. So if things go badly for whatever reason, then things may change, and we must always be prepared to that. And I think we've got pretty good at that over the last year, being flexible and so on. And you have all certainly been very, very patient. So thank you for that. So in terms of dates, okay, what we are working towards is obviously, since the information came out yesterday, we've been getting advice from various quarters. I've been in touch with the venues just to make sure that they're happy with things and so on. And what we are working towards is from Monday the 12th of April, that will be the return to face-to-face classes for our younger students, so under 18s. Okay, under 18s. Now, there will still be social distancing in place. There will still be no contact, no pad work. And so it will be just as we've been doing since March last year for our juniors. It will be online booking, same as we've done before. So everything will be as is, or as was, I should say. I will put up nearer the time Just a reminder of what our COVID safe protocols are, and just to remind you of those, because it's been a while and some of them may have been forgotten, but it's really, really important that you read and digest those. A small addition to that will be that any students who are in secondary school and above must wear a face mask to and from the venue and anywhere in public corridors. So once they're in the training hall itself, that's fine, but once they're walking through corridors and things, they must wear a mask. You must book in, and so on and so forth. With over 18s, as we had in tier 3, we can train over 18, so adults in that respect, but not in a structured class format. So what that means is you can come to the room at that time and we will give you things to work on, but it cannot be in a class format with us, okay? But you can, same as we did in tier 3 before, so those adults that came, you were instructed what to do, and then obviously in terms of the teaching, we focused on the under 18s. But I'll explain a little bit more about that nearer the time. But it is positive, it is moving forwards. Now, for any family, young or adult, that perhaps I might be a little bit nervous or apprehensive about returning to classes, please do get in touch and we can go through everything that we put in place to make sure that you are safe and that we are safe as well. If it is something that you think, actually, we're not quite ready for that, that is absolutely fine, and that is your decision, and that is a personal decision as well. But we will be running the classes via Zoom at the same time from the same venue. Okay, so just as we did in December, I think it was, where we had the camera and the big screen, and we had students at home and we had students in the hall. It was actually a lot of fun, but that will be an option for you as well. Then the next date, the next significant date for us is the 17th of May. Okay, the 17th of May. That is when formal adult classes can return. And then that also means that for all age groups, we can start pad work, light contact and partner work and so on like that. So that is a really, really big day. So Monday the 17th of May onwards, that's when things will return to normal. But it's likely we will still obviously have certain things in place like hand sanitizing, booking, just so we do make have the space available, because it wouldn't be very safe if the room was just crammed full of people. In those initial dates from the 12th of April, as we did last year, sadly there won't be room for spectators. Yes, in the government announcements there were comments for some parents to come in, but up to a maximum of 15. It's very difficult for us to manage that because in some classes we have more than 15. Do we put a rota on? What happens if a parent is late? What happens if a parent brings another parent and it's more than one, and so on? There's a lot to manage there. We would prefer to focus on the students that are coming to class, making sure they've booked in, because there are some naughty families out there that were a bit slack on booking them in last year, and making sure that we give every focus to ensuring that they're safe and having a good time getting back into training. As soon as we can easily allow spectators in, I assure you we will do that, and I will let you know. Okay, so please thank you for your patience on that matter. So it is positive. Say more details of how it's going to work will be going up very, very soon, but basically it's similar to what we did last year. But it gives us a goal. It gives us something to aim for. I know this time round has been particularly challenging, especially for our younger ones who have found online in general really draining, very tiring, and a little bit negative as well. And that's not martial arts, that's everything. It's everything to do with online learning, and it can be quite exhausting. But this date gives us a light at the end of the tunnel, and we can start to envisage the return to classes face to face, and it will be wonderful to see you all as well. So thank you again for your patience on that, and we will see you sooner now rather than later. This coming week, obviously, some kids are back at school. Our timetable is as normal, and we will be really focusing up towards the grading. If you've got any questions at all, please do let me know. Kickers, let's see if we can smash that 150,000 target before the end of the month, and we will see you very soon. So do take care, and let's stay positive. Bye bye.